This is the Tiny SE. This is OBSBOT's entry-level AI webcam, and it's freaking awesome. And before you dive off this video and go, I don't need a webcam, I've got one on my computer, then have a look at this. This is my Mac, and this is the quality of the Mac with the same lighting. And the microphone of the Mac, I think, are great. But the camera, not great in low light. Have a look over here. You can start to see this goes a little bit fuzzy, and that is what's known as digital noise. And also, if you're worried about the quality, well, this is the Tiny SE. I've actually got two, and I'm using the other one right here on a tripod connected to my Mac. Now, why am I promoting a webcam on a music channel? We're not gamers, but some of us are live streamers. Also, you might want to do a performance, and this little camera has a cool trick. What I'm about to show you is using both of these together. Now, isn't that cool? This can track you. This has got AI tracking. This is a PTZ camera. As you can see, it moves around. I'm moving it with my finger. This one is active and live right now. Now, OBSBOT have been known for their PTZ cameras, and they have their active AI for auto AI tracking. And there's no different with the Tiny SE. The Tiny range has been around for a little while, but their entry-level one actually has the same technology. So if I put my hand up, the camera goes blue, and I can move around, and it starts tracking me. I can try and fool it, but believe me, I've tried to do this a million times and I can't fool it. It just follows you, and it follows your face using AI. However, in the video that you saw, it was also tracking my hands. Using the OBSBOT Center software, you can actually track different things, and one of the things it can do is track hands. This is great if you want a camera that's following you playing the piano or playing guitar. Now, to demonstrate this right now, I'm going to use the OBSBOT Center. I'm going to put it on hands, and it's going to probably freak out a bit, but as it tries to find hands. But once you've got it set and it sort of finds it, it's not tracking my face right now. it's actually tracking my hand. And I move it across. Do you see that? How cool is that? And if I move my hand around, if I move it up and down, it does track it, and it tracks it pretty well. Now, the thing that makes this really, really work is a system built into it called dual ISO. ISO is a setting in most cameras, and it controls how sensitive your camera's sensor is to light. The higher the ISO number, the higher your camera's sensitivity, and also the less light you need to create a picture or a video. But what this little baby does is dual ISO, so it looks for two different ISOs, and it's got a 1.4f aperture. So what that means in real terms is it's looking for a low light and a high light, and it uses the AI, meaning that if it's in a low light situation like a pub or a club or a live stream or a studio, this thing is awesome in low light. When you go over to built-in webcams, they have a specific ISO, and then when you get really dark, it starts to look really fuzzy, and that's called digital noise. Now, you can rub that out sort of in software, but you can't do that on a live stream. These things are awesome for that. The other thing I really like about this is it's a webcam, but you don't need any additional hardware with it, because this has a little rubber pad on the bottom. You can see it's got a thread there as well, so you can actually connect it to anything like a tripod, like I've done right now. But also it's got a little stand, so you can put this bit on the computer on your laptop and then hold it against it, and it stays there straight away. It's USB-C connection, and it has two microphones. Now, the microphone you're listening to right now is actually my Mac. Let's move the sound and microphones over to the Tiny SE. So what you're hearing right now is the two microphones working together on the Tiny SE. Now, most musicians wouldn't use this. They'd use the output of their rig, like their looper or their guitar or their audio interface. But it's got a cool audio trick up its sleeve, which is noise reduction and also distance. So what you can do is we can turn noise reduction on, we can turn automatic gain control on, and I'm not going to raise my voice, I'm going to talk like this. Now, the other thing you can do is you can actually change it over to radio distance. So right now it's on close. Let's put it on far, and let me move all the way over here. So maybe you're live streaming and you want this microphone to be the one that you talk to the audience with. Now, ironically, I can get it to track me, but also what I can do is I can get it to zoom in. So if we actually start doing things like this and I start moving around, you can start tracking me as I'm doing a presentation or as I'm doing a performance, and maybe we're moving around with the band and playing, and this works really, really well. Now, as I said before, it has noise reduction, so right now it's completely switched off. So what you're hearing is the audio with no noise reduction. Now what you're hearing is with weak noise reduction, so it has a weak, a medium, and a strong. Now you're hearing the medium setting, so let's just jingle things around and move around a little bit, and clicks. And finally, you've got the strong. Now, I wouldn't actually use this unless I'm just speaking. And this is quite useful if you've got like a fan going, or you've got noise in the background, or you've got noisy neighbors, and you want that to bleed out. But I would have it set to off if you want to get the audio from a guitar, like an acoustic guitar, and you don't have an audio interface. You could use the microphones of this to record or live stream. So we're now back on the MacBook Pro microphone. And the other thing about this is it's 1080. So you can let me know in the comment section below whether you think that's good enough to record video for YouTube or a performance. But here in the UK, live streaming at 1080 is probably the most you'd want to do on a live stream. And this little thing is $99 in the US. Now, prices will change depending on where you are in the world, but in the US, this is going to retail at $99. So if you're looking for a new camera that can do tracking and you don't want it to break the bank, this little baby at $99 in the US is an absolute steal. And I'm about to make that even better for you, because we've got links in the description box. OBSBOT are sponsoring this video, and if you put OBSBOT 2025 into either the Amazon link or on their website, you're going to get 5% off until the end of May 2025, which is an awesome code. So this is the Tiny SE. This is OBSBOT's entry-level AI webcam using dual ISO, which is part of the SE range, which goes with the Meet SE. Now, the Meet SE, I did a video on all on its own. So if you want to check that out, it does a little bit of auto tracking, but there's no gimbal on there. But this thing is even cheaper. By the way, that's this video that's come up on top of the box, so enjoy that.